Welcome everyone. You are at the Department of Mechanical Engineering celebrating our diverse community session, and we hope after this session you will envision yourself coming to mechanical engineering and joining the CU Boulder community. To give you a schedule of our events, we will start with me. My name is Vera Sobalski. I'm a senior graduate advisor. And I will talk about some of our resources, our community, and explain our idea plan. IDEA is an acronym. I'll chat about that for a little bit. And then we will move to the best part of this event, which is hearing from our students. We'll be hearing from STEM Roots. You'll learn what that is. That's a College of Engineering resource. We'll hear from some mechanical students, and you'll learn about our Committee for Equity in Mechanical Engineering, which is a student-run committee in our department. And then we'll also hear from faculty, including faculty who are representing our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Working Group, our DEI working group. So that part of the event will be recorded so that we can share it on our website and share it with other prospective students who are looking at our program. And we'll stop recording at about 9:35, hopefully by that point. And then we will open up the floor for breakout rooms and into these three sections, and we'll invite you to choose. You can feel free to hop around a little bit, and this is a great opportunity to get to talk to people and to learn more about all the resources you'll be hearing about today. So before I get started to share about our community and resources, I wanted to remind you all of our application deadlines. The spring deadlines are closed, and international PhD application deadline just passed December 1st. Our domestic PhD applicant deadline is December 15th, so that's coming up very soon next week. And then our MS deadline for both international and domestic applicants is February 15th. So MS students, you still have plenty of time to apply. And I've included a chat here that someone will share, a link that someone will share so you can check out some more information, including their application fee waivers that you might be eligible for. So check under the application fee headline and see if you qualify for that. And then you can email megrad@colorado.edu. That's my email. I check that email, and then if you have questions, I'd be happy to follow up with you on that. So now I want to talk a little bit about our community. So I'll start broadly at the campus level. First, I'd like to talk about our Office of Diversity, Equity, and Community Engagement. The acronym there is ODECE. And their goal is to create, our goal, I should say, we are all part of this community effort to create an inclusive campus, supporting those who have been historically excluded from higher education. And we as a department, and this trickles down to the department level, because we do partner with the campus on some of these initiatives to facilitate equitable learning, teaching, research, and creative work opportunities. And then building a culture of belonging. That is something that is also important, something that we think about both from the staff level, I'm a staff member, from the faculty level, and from the student level. And you'll learn more about what's happening when you hear from our faculty and our students. I also wanted to share a college resource. Now, again, there's so many resources at the university and the college and people, but this is just one resource specifically that our Assistant Dean for Inclusion asked me to share, and that's the Bold Center. And this is part of the college's commitment to creating a diverse environment. Now, just to be completely upfront, we have a massive undergraduate population, so a lot of the students who engage in this resource are at the undergrad level, but I've asked and they've said, yes, grad students are welcome. Please have them talk to us. There are study spaces there. There are places where you can hang out. And I was also told that they do hire graduate students to serve as tutors. So if you're looking for an opportunity to work in the Bold Center, you can check that out. And there's a link right there. Now, I wanted to give you a snapshot of some of what our graduate student community looks like. This is from the College of Engineering. So I've shared a couple of demographics for you to take a look, just so we can be transparent of what our population looks like. And I've included two links and an additional one if you wanted to look at the Tableau feature and play around with that. And then I'm honing it down to mechanical. Now I've decided to keep the grad and undergrad groups together here. As you can see, we are majority male, majority white campus. However, I will talk about the rest of the presentation, and you'll hear from students about what we do to make sure our underserved students do have a place where they can find a home and are being supported. And as you can see, just our population is over 300 master's students, excuse me, graduate students. Majority are masters. You can see over here some race and ethnicity demographics, and then some additional information about our students. And I've included 2 links. The second one also has some information about international student demographics, because I know a lot of our participants here today are international students. So how do we listen to our graduate students? I spoke to Vanessa Dunn, our director of data. I think her title's a little bit longer than that. And she shared that we do collect data from students. We do student climate surveys. We look at that. That's looked at the climate, excuse me, at the campus level, as well as trickling down to the department level. And these are things we even discussed in our graduate committee in the department. And here's a link. This is all public information. You can check it out. And I was told that there is a more recent survey that will be shared very soon and made available to the public. So feel free to explore that if you would like. And I mentioned idea plans at the very beginning, so I wanted to explain what that is. And this is from the campus level, it's the campus initiative. And so the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences is a part of this effort. And our goal is to continuously work toward greater equity, inclusion, and diversity with our students, our postdocs, administration, and faculty. And so what does IDEA stand for? It's the Inclusion, Diversity, and Excellence in Academics Plan. And the 3 main tenets are to look at climate, infrastructure, and leadership. So let's hone it down to mechanical engineering. Here are 3 things that are posted on our website, and you'll hear more from Janet Tsai, who's our director of the DEI working group. And there's so much more. I think this is just a snapshot, and even the course Design for Inclusion, that's being offered. And Janet Tsai, I believe, is the instructor for this course. And so it's really exciting to see that these are ideas that we put out there, tangible things that we can do as a department, and some of them are already happening. So I love seeing stuff like this. All right, that is it for me. So we will now move on to hearing from Dana Stamo from STEM Routes. And Peter and Anna, if you could make her a co-host, that would be wonderful, so that she can screen share. I'll stop screen sharing after this. After Dana speaks, we will hear from our mechanical engineering students and then our mechanical faculty, and then we'll bring it back and open up the breakout rooms. But before we do that, I just wanted to give a big shout out. So many people were helpful in putting this event together. I've spoken to our Assistant Dean for Access, Inclusion, and Student Programs, our Director of Inclusive Culture, College of Engineering at the college level. Amy was a wonderful resource to help me frame this plan. Janet Tsai is you'll hear from Janet later today. Peter Hamilton, our graduate chair. I feel like I'm at the Oscars right now. Anna Guy is here helping us out as well. And then, I mean, we couldn't have not done this without our community for equity and mechanical engineering. You'll hear from those students and hear the amazing work that they're doing. And I'm so proud of our CEME group and the work that they do. They're so student focused. It's awesome. And then STEM Roots, this is a college level resource that you all will learn about. And I already met with Dana and found out that I knew a grad student that she knows from 4 years ago. It's really fantastic. Okay, so I will stop sharing and we will move it on to, here we go. Hi, Dana, the floor is all yours.
Hi, thank you. Let me see if I can get the screen share going. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So hi, everyone. My name is Dana. I am part of the student organization STEM Roots. I'm one of the co-founders, and to contextualize what STEM Roots is, I have to tell you why we created it. So when I was in undergrad, I got my undergrad at CU Boulder as well. I had no idea what graduate school was. I had no idea what I was doing and what I was preparing for. I'm a first generation student, so I had pretty much zero guidance in this respect. And I ended up taking an emergency gap year. So I ended up staying for a 5th year unplanned because I couldn't find a job. I couldn't get into any PhD programs. And during that time, I had befriended a bunch of graduate students. And ironically, even though my department is chemical and biological engineering, I had done an undergraduate research project in mechanical engineering. So I befriended a bunch of mechanical engineering graduate students who all said, yeah, no one told us what to do either. It was really frustrating. So we created STEM Roots as a way to serve as the mentors that we wish we had. And so our ultimate goal with STEM Roots is to try to bridge gaps throughout the kind of challenges that students face at the university. Now, STEM Roots serves primarily undergraduate students in terms of our programming, but it's all run by graduate students. So what you get is this really vibrant graduate student community that's doing this really awesome service for the campus overall. And that gives us a lot of opportunities to sort of unite existing programming at CU Boulder, learn more about each other, and even find really cool ways to collaborate, not only through STEM Roots, but also through our research. STEM Roots is across all STEM fields at the university. And I remember when I was first starting STEM Roots and we were recruiting a bunch of people, this was a really good opportunity for us to actually collaborate with other labs from other departments and even from the College of Arts and Sciences. So it's a really great way to sort of get to know people. But one of the key things that we work on is leveraging existing resources. So we have a lot of programs at CU that allow for paid research opportunities for undergrads. So things like the Biological Sciences Initiative or the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program. These are all programs that will pay undergraduates to do research, but they have a lot of prerequisites, things like you have to already know what lab you're going to be in, and you have to know how to communicate science already so you can propose that project. So there's a lot of sort of barriers for undergrads going into these programs. And what STEM Roots does is we created our own paid research program called Uplift. And this pays undergraduate research students a stipend over the course of 24 weeks, during which time we train and prepare them for being excellent candidates for Europe and BSI programs, so existing research programs. So ultimately what STEM Roots does is instead of creating programs that are redundant on campus, we're creating programs that are leveraging everyone on campus and essentially uplifting people and programs that are already here. And then, of course, there's the aspect of collaborating, not only in the sense of your research, but also in the sense of all of our programming. So we'll work with other student organizations on campus, as well as DEI organizations throughout the rest of the administration as well, in order to leverage all of our programming. So it's a really great way to network with higher efforts on campus if that's something you're interested in. And all of this contributes to efficient and coordinated growth. So we're not out here trying to grow in our own sort of silo. We are here trying to help the entire campus grow and improve on its own. And one thing that I really want to highlight about STEM Roots is that we don't have any membership requirements. So if you want to get involved with STEM Roots, we recognize that it's really hard to be a graduate student. Your schedule is unpredictable. Some months you may have a lot of time, and then other months or even just a few weeks can be extraordinarily hectic. So we don't have any membership requirements. The way that our entire group looks is that we vary between about 6 and 12 graduate students from all STEM departments across the university. We meet weekly to plan what we want to work on, to take over what other people can't cover for that week, and to coordinate all of our projects to make sure that we're staying on track. But if someone can't make it to that meeting at one point, all you have to do is post it in the Slack and someone can take over what you need to do that week. So we're really flexible in terms of what we require of you, which can be really helpful as you're trying to sort of get a feel for what you need from the campus. And the last piece that I wanted to mention is that we don't have a hierarchy. And the key reason that we do this is because hierarchies can be inherently discriminatory. So we try to eliminate all sorts of power from our organization and essentially make it as accessible as possible. So we want people to be on equal footing. So we're not trying to sort of suppress anyone's voice in this organization. That's also why we eliminated voting. So we use a community-based practice of decision-making where we will all discuss and convince one another of our future idea, rather than trying to take a vote and essentially suppressing the voices of those in the voting minority. So everything we do is trying to encourage equitable culture and decolonizing practices that you'll typically see in student organizations in general. So with that, if you are interested in participating, you can send us an email at stem_roots@colorado.edu. And you can also check out our website at colorado.edu/studentgroups/STEMroots if you want to explore our programs a little bit more. And with that, I think I'm passing it over to Jaylene next.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Hi, Jaylene. Go ahead and introduce yourself and also introduce CEME, and I'll spotlight all of the other graduate students. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, if you could
Hi,
just talk-
everyone.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm JiaBin Martinez. I am a fourth year PhD student in the mechanical engineering department. I work with Professor Yifu Ding, primarily on polymers for membrane applications. But part of being a low income first generation college student, I had to utilize certain resources to get to where I am today. And one of those was the summer research program SMART through CU Boulder, which introduced me to my current advisor. And then I was part of the STEM routes program when we developed it at the beginning, and then slowly transitioned into more of the mechanical engineering based diversity and inclusion. And so that's where CEME began, the Committee for Equity in Mechanical Engineering. And we did that last year during COVID, to really just start listening to one another and our needs, and then also letting each other know that we're not alone in this, and we have a good group to back each other up. I think I went over my time, but
I can go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Andres. I'm an international student, a graduate student, second year master's student from Colombia. I do research in combustion and chemical kinetics. So what I really like about the CU Boulder experience is all of the resources they give you. The department has a lot of different fields that you can choose from if you're coming in for research. There's all types of research. And then specifically the master's program is very flexible. You can take a lot of classes in the mechanical engineering department itself, but they also give you options to take classes outside of the department. So a lot of people use that to take options, to take classes like in aerospace or in computer science or stuff like that. And then also know that the department offers a lot of resources. They send weekly emails to keep you on track of events that are going on and all the resources that are out there. So the support is there. Once you're in the program, make sure you reach out and to take advantage of all the resources that the department has. And then lastly, I know this is a very stressful time. I hope you're all doing great, and I wish you the best.
So I'll be going next. My name is Skylar Kern. I am a fifth year PhD student here in the mechanical engineering department, studying under Peter Hamilton. My research is related to, is really looking at optimizing biogeochemical models. So if you think about like the basic trophic levels of the ocean, like phytoplankton, zooplankton, how do we use automated methods to sort of improve those models? I am, along with Jaylene and some of the other people here, a member of the Committee for Equity in Mechanical Engineering. Specifically, I'm kind of serving as the departmental liaison, where, through the great support that the department has shown towards graduate students and hearing what we think about things, CEME has been sort of allowed to voice our opinion on things going on in both the diversity and inclusion working group, and then also to have a voice within the grad committee, which is sort of the group that sort of organizes the grad program. So I'm sort of serving in that capacity. CEME is really trying to create community for graduate students in order to support them, create opportunities for them to do service, which is something that can be important to sort of members of the community. And then again, just have a way of expressing the issues and normalizing the fact that this is a difficult program, and that when you have a hard time, there's other people that are saying that's normal, you're not alone, yeah, and you have support. So yeah, so we look forward to hearing any sort of questions or anything, and look forward to seeing all of you on campus. I think Adrian is next.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Adrian. I am a sixth year PhD student. So I'm hopefully graduating very soon. And my research is looking at how cells respond to the mechanical environment and how that relates to disease states. And I am also a part of CEME. I joined CEME just to make sure that all graduate students feel like they belong in our program. I think that belonging is sort of a foundation to education. And if you're not feeling like you belong, then a lot of cognitive load is being used to deal with that stress. And so I think it's important that everyone can feel like they can put all of their efforts and their cognitive load towards learning in our department. And so, like everyone else, wanted to provide a supportive community and be someone to listen to any concerns, as well as participate in outreach groups. We've been able to go to a few schools over the summer. We went to a summer program and made little mousetrap cars with this students, and that was really fun. It was really fun to see everyone be excited about engineering and participating. And so hopefully these efforts will build a supportive STEM community before reaching higher education. So these are some of the reasons that I joined CEME. And I'd like to second Andre's comment. I know this is a really stressful time. Please feel free to reach out. We're here to help at any point. And so glad to see everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rosa Morales. I am a 5th-year graduate student in our department. My research is on laser ultrasonics and specifically using this evaluation method to characterize metal 3D printing. And I did undergrad at UC Davis, so came straight to Boulder after that. And yeah, I'm very involved in the department in a number of ways. So CEME, that a lot of these folks have talked about, but also GEARS. So GEARS is the recruitment event for PhD students. So once you've been admitted, you'll be invited to come to our campus and really get to know our community. And specifically, we've been focusing on having inclusion events at GEARS. So specifically for women in science, women in mechanical engineering, we have professors, current graduate students, some staff who come and just share with us. Also, we have a sitting with people of color event to really get to ask us, any questions going through your mind. It is a white dominant community, but there are a lot of places to find community. So we really just want to make that accessible. And this year, for the first time, we're having a Pride drop-in social. So that, people who identify with different preferences can come and be one and be connected with other people in our department. So yeah, if any of you, we will have a breakout room, and it'd be awesome for all of you to join our breakout room that all of us will be in if you have more questions.
Thanks, Rosa. Hey everyone, my name is Leo Buchan. I'm a 3rd-year PhD student working in Sean Humbert's lab on control systems and robotics, specifically on bio-inspired methods for improving disturbance rejection on UAVs. I'm an international student from South Africa, and I want to share a little bit on, so I'm also part of CEME, the Community for Equity in Mechanical Engineering, and I just want to share a little bit of, on our outreach that we've done. So as Adrian mentioned, we went out to some schools earlier this summer, and I think that was really important. So, coming from South Africa, where, even high school education is really not up to standard, and people don't understand, where they could go, where science could take them, what opportunities they could have, And I think it's really important getting that message across to young people. And that's really why I joined. I was in high school and I didn't even know what grad school was. I didn't even know that was an option, probably until my senior year in grad school, when a friend of mine's brother actually went to MIT. So I didn't even know what any of that was. So I thought that was really important to share that with young people and show that those opportunities are available. Thank you. And I think Professor Janet Tsai is up next.
All right, well, great to hear from our wonderful graduate students. Really interesting to hear the stories. My name's been mentioned a bunch of times, and it's kind of fun because I did my graduate degree in this department as well. So I was a graduate student here, and I think the department has changed a lot since I was a graduate student, particularly because we have such amazing students who care so much about our community and really care about equity and social issues, right? And really making sure that we are supportive of everybody that's here, knowing kind of what are some limitations and challenges of being in Boulder, Colorado. I grew up in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is about an hour north of here. And it's an interesting place when you don't look like everyone else, right? So I've been really lucky, I think, to feel incredibly supported here. And what's amazing, I think, is that our department is really on the leading edge as far as advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion concerns in our college. For instance, so I am the chair now of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Working Group. It's a standing committee in our department, which means that we have a formal charge from our department chair to really think about our inclusive culture. We created this committee of staff, faculty, and students starting last fall. And this was just because we cared about it, right? And we said we want to do something. So we started meeting last fall, and then in the spring it became more formalized. And now this fall it's become this more official body. And so as Vera showed, we have this campus idea plan, we have these college actions, but it's like we decided to do all this before the college told us to, right? And everyone cares about it enough that we want to make it a priority. And we want to make sure, hey, everyone, you feel welcome and that we're excited to get your questions answered and to talk to you more just about, well, what are your concerns about coming to grad school? What can we really do to make sure that you're supported here? One of our actions is to actually change our curriculum. And so we've been looking at, what are ways to integrate diverse perspectives into all of our classes? And in addition, to teach specific classes on the topic of inclusion, which is one class that I'm offering this upcoming spring. The last thing that I'll say, let's see, there's so much to say. But that we have a lot of great faculty, we have a lot of great staff and students who really do care about these things, and that we're continuing to push them forward. One tangible output of our work is just having a diversity statement on our website, so that when you go to our front page, our ME homepage, right, you can see, well, what is our mission statement? What is our vision as far as developing more inclusive culture? So believe it or not, that was a department-wide effort even to get that thing crafted and to get it up there. And in that way, it really represents, again, this collaboration that represents all of us, I hope. Okay, I'll pass it on to, I think Jacob's next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jacob Siegel, research assistant professor here in mechanical engineering. I was also a graduate student with Janet here in our department. So I can share some of those experiences as well. And now I am also on the DEI working group with Janet. I follow her lead on all those efforts, and it's been great to be more a part of, or to gain insight into not only our own community, but also our campus-wide DEI efforts. My background's in neural engineering, so I study brain-machine interface, prosthetic limb design, those types of topics. And my experience here in Boulder is not I'm a domestic student. I came from Chicago, suburban Chicago. I came to another suburb, Boulder, Colorado, and so I never felt the same differences that some students coming from other backgrounds do. But what I know is true is that our campus is it is the nucleus of all the diversity in our community, and so that's why I like to be here. And that's why I like to be a part of all these conversations and events and everything else, because it enhances my world as well. So that's my background. Looking forward to meeting you all at some point in the future. I think it's Xiaoyun, I think you're coming next.
Oh yeah. Oh, hello everyone. My name is Xiaoyun Ding, and I am in the 5th year of my assistant professor here, and I lead a biomedical microfluidics lab. My lab focuses on biomedical devices for cellular level applications, including diagnosis and therapeutics. Well, I've been serving in the graduate committee for almost 4 or 5 years. So I started to fall in love with this campus and this place since I was having an on-site interview here. So it's a great place of a good balance between work and life. So when you choose a school, think about that. You will spend 5 years as a PhD, right? Most of you. So this 5 years is probably one of the most important period of your life, right? In your 20s. So you want to find a place where you have good memory. So not only you want to achieve a good research achievement, but also you want to have enjoy your life there. So CEU Boulder, our campus, provide the world-class level research platform, and as well as a very great place for you. This is one advice you should consider. And if you decide to come to CEU, then you should start to contact faculties you want to work with as your mentor. That's very important. So when you accept offer, then you should contact the advisor you want to work with and start some literature review, try to prepare yourself into that field. And also you want to reach out other students in this department or on the campus to have a good idea of life here and everything. I think that's pretty much from my side. Of course, later we will have a separate Zoom, and I'm happy to answer more questions. And next, I believe, is Longji.
Hey, my name is Longji Cui. I'm an assistant professor of this department. We don't have much time left. I'll be brief. So a little bit about my lab. My lab work on the fundamental aspect of quantum science, nanoscale energy transport, and renewable energy. And I will talk a bit more about as the member of graduate committee. I'll be sitting in graduate committee for like last 3 years. So one question I see in the chat is student asking about the background issue. I actually graduated with a degree in aerospace and economics, and actually I eventually go to mechanical engineering for PhD and do a lot of physics stuff. So background is definitely not an issue. Actually, your background probably enhanced our diversity effort, right? So one thing I do want to emphasize is a lot of effort you are seeing here, the CEME, the STEM routes, and also a lot of our work in diversity, equity, and inclusion was happening over the past few years. And it is tremendous resources and effort that we have put together. So what you should be guaranteed is this is a welcoming community, particularly for newcomers from all kind of background, all kind of countries. So no matter where you come from, you should be like happy to stay here for like the 5 year, like what Professor Xiaoyun Ding mentioned, that the best time, the prime time of your young life. Another thing I want to mention is if you cared about like resources for graduate study, I want to mention this is we guarantee funding for PhD students, and we also have a lot of resources, industry partnership for master students. And this is not very common that we have classes that you can actually get an internship outside and also get credit. Right? So it's really nice. So we really care about your future and your career. That is about what I want to say. I will hand it over to Peter.
Thank you, Longji, and thank you to all of the students, staff, and faculty who have spoken to this point. So my name is Peter Hamilton. I'm an associate professor in the department, work primarily in the area of computational fluid dynamics and fluid flow research. I'm also the graduate program chair in our department. And I think you've heard a lot of great things about the various initiatives and activities related to DEI, creating a really strong community in our department. I do, want to point out two things in addition. So the first is that when we review applications on the graduate committee, we take a very holistic view of your applications. We don't any longer require GRE scores. We don't even accept GRE scores. And so we're looking at your personal statements, your reference letters, your transcripts, not just your GPA, your previous work experience. And so, we are trying to develop a sense of, who you are as a person, look past some of the numerical quantitative aspects of an application and figure out, what kind of fit you'll be with our department. And we hope many of you will be a great fit with us. And the other thing that I wanted to point out is that, many of you who have signed on here are international students, and we do see international students as an important part of a vibrant and diverse community. And so, you will have communities to interact with here and, fellow students that, maybe from your own countries, from similar backgrounds, but also from all over the world. And I think, that's one of the strengths of an academic environment, just the collection of diverse ideas and backgrounds and some of the great new work that comes out of that. And so as with everyone else, I'm looking forward to talking to some of you more in the breakout rooms. And I will hand it back to Vera with more information on how that will work.
All right, thank you everyone one more time. I really appreciate all your input and your stories. And so to get to, I'm going to stop recording this event right now, and